7 years later, near a cliff, Troy questioned Theo if he was mentally prepared. Theo, holding a sword, affirmed his readiness. Troy entrusted Theo with the task, and Theo acknowledged his understanding and respect for his master's decision. Theo, in a serious demeanor, silently requested his masters to watch over him until the end. With determination, he utilized hovering steps to leap forward, wielding a weapon in hand. Employing the flashing bee-sting technique, Theo swiftly swung his weapon towards Troy. Troy pondered on Theo's character. He believed that in the world of alchemists, individuals like Theo, who possessed a kind nature, would be exploited endlessly. Troy recognized the importance of establishing boundaries in human relationships. Reflecting on Julian's previous conversation, Troy acknowledged that despite his past as a man of destruction, he found it challenging to accept Theo as a successor. He hoped that one day Theo would comprehend his feelings and recognize that his inherent goodness would be a source of strength. Theo, utilizing the destruction sword art, leaped towards Troy. As Troy smiled at Theo, he expressed gratitude, acknowledging that thanks to Theo, he had found a renewed sense of purpose in life, similar to the previous 4 masters who had passed. Confidently, Troy shouted for Theo to come at him. Theo then employed the skill Flying Swallow energy strike. Witnessing this, Troy smiled inwardly, content to see the destruction sword arts in action once more before peacefully passing away. In the graveyard, Theo knelt and addressed his masters, declaring his departure from the ghost village. He vowed to venture into the outside world, embodying the teachings they instilled in him. Theo pledged to treat kind individuals even better than the Buddhist goddess of mercy, and to treat evil persons more severely than demons. He vowed to become a formidable force against his master's enemies and swore to seek revenge on their behalf. Theo, journeying on a flying sword with the boar, arrived at the sister's place. Upon meeting Emmy, she mentioned the specific duration of 9 years, 7 months, and 12 days. Theo smiled and acknowledged the significance of the time elapsed, indicating that he had been occupied with various tasks. Emmy noted the extended period since his last visit and hinted that he seemed poised to depart once more. Theo confirmed Emmy's observation, affirming that he would indeed be setting off again. Emmy inquired about Theo's destination, expressing surprise that he planned to depart the Forest of Beasts. She mentioned that everyone in the forest had contemplated leaving if they could. Theo acknowledged Emmy's sentiment and shared that although the path ahead was uncertain, there was a clue that he felt compelled to pursue. Despite the ambiguity, Theo felt he had no option but to seize any opportunity that arose. Emmy expressed concern that Theo might be pursuing an unattainable goal, cautioning against chasing a floating cloud. Theo, however, remained optimistic, stating that what may seem impossible at first can become a reality through perseverance, with the outcomes serving as evidence. Although Emmy felt a bit disheartened, she wished Theo success in his endeavors. Theo expressed gratitude for her well wishes. Emmy then extended an invitation, assuring Theo that whenever he felt weary on his journey, he could seek refuge with her and her sister, Ruby. Theo acknowledged the offer. Under the night sky in the Forest of Beasts, Ruby mentioned knowing for potential caves where an ancient dragon could dwell, offering to disclose their locations. Emmy expressed concern, urging caution. Theo, after searching the 4th place without success, felt a sense of disappointment. He had been confident when he embarked on the quest but was unable to find the crucial evidence he sought. The boar, sensing something, collided with the wall of the mountain. Theo, noticing this, asked if the boar was tired of their search and questioned its ability to break through the wall. Upon observing a crack in the wall, Theo expressed curiosity, noting the presence of a crevice and airflow. Intrigued by these discoveries, he pondered the possibility of something being hidden within the wall. Theo managed to crack the wall open, revealing more of the cave inside. Concerned that everything inside might be buried if it crumbled further, he noticed something within. A woman, bound in chains, pleaded for help, calling out for assistance and begging to be saved. Theo inquired about the woman's identity and how she ended up in such a situation. The woman explained that she had been abandoned in that place after resisting those who attempted to coerce her into becoming a concubine. Theo, angered by the woman's ordeal, expressed his determination to free her from the abuse she suffered at the hands of strangers. The woman, with an evil and mischievous smile, questioned if Theo would truly help her. She then smiled brightly at Theo, expressing her gratitude and willingness to do anything if he saved her. Theo, examining the robust chain used to confine the woman, pondered aloud about the excessive security measures for one person. He then asked the woman for her thoughts on the matter. The woman admitted she was unsure of the reason behind the heavy chain and simply desired to leave the place promptly. Theo proceeded to inquire if she knew her current location. In response, the woman expressed uncertainty, mentioning that she had been forcibly brought to this place. Theo informed the woman that they were in the Forest of Beasts, a perilous area inhabited by peculiar and monstrous creatures. He mentioned rumors of fiends transforming into humans and ensnaring them. The woman, innocently confused, asked for clarification on his statement, expressing her distress and urging Theo to swiftly rescue her. Theo retrieved a bottle from his pouch containing the essence of the shadow orchid, a plant known for emitting a scent that fiends hate. He explained that he condensed the plant's fragrance into the essence, but admitted he had never seen a shadow orchid firsthand. Unsure if fiends truly avoided the plant's smell, he posed the question to the woman. However, as the woman gazed at the essence, her appearance transformed into a demonic form, and she angrily shouted at Theo to keep the essence away from her, labeling him a crazy human. The woman, in a desperate plea, assured Theo that if he freed her, she would not harm him and would comply with all his requests. Surprised by the offer, Theo sought confirmation, to which the woman reaffirmed her willingness to do anything within her capabilities. She explained her 2-century-long confinement had left her immobile, emphasizing her inability to pose a threat. Theo, considering her proposition, agreed and proposed the idea of striking a deal to explore further possibilities. The woman, eager to fulfill her promise, asked Theo to state his desires. Theo inquired if she knew the whereabouts of an ancient dragon. He made a deal with her, promising to rescue her if the location she disclosed indeed housed an ancient dragon. The woman realized that Theo was searching for an ancient dragon but doubted his ability to combat such a formidable creature. She questioned his true intentions, prompting Theo to admit his awareness of his limitations in facing an ancient dragon. He requested the location regardless. The woman, having resided in the area for an extended period, assured Theo that she was well aware of the ancient dragon's whereabouts and was prepared to divulge the information. Theo politely requested the woman to share the location with him. However, the woman expressed concern about being abandoned if she disclosed the information. She questioned Theo's trustworthiness and the possibility of him not returning after she revealed the location. Theo, in turn, highlighted the mutual trust issue, mentioning the risk of her lying or betraying him after being freed. In response, the woman proposed a condition. If Theo did not release her from her chains, she would not disclose the location of the ancient dragon. Theo, choosing to walk away, decided not to risk his safety and remarked that he did not want to endanger himself. He teased the woman, suggesting she could wait another 100 years for unsuspecting individuals to stumble upon her. He also mentioned that he would restore the cave entrance to its initial condition. The woman screamed in disbelief, expressing shock at Theo's decision to leave her restrained. Theo, standing firm, proposed a compromise. The woman should disclose the location, and once he confirmed it, he would return to free her from the chains. The woman, frustrated, screamed that the situation was unfair. In response, Theo pointed out her lack of authority to complain about fairness given their circumstances. The woman cautioned Theo against entering the dragon's cave, warning him of the dangers that could prevent his return to free her. Theo confidently asserted his ability to handle the situation. The woman scornfully called him an arrogant punk and emphasized the threat posed by even a young ancient dragon, likening it to her own low-level fiend status. She recounted her past ability to harm alchemists like Theo easily, advising him to exercise caution. The woman inquired about Theo's name, to which he responded, "His name is Jagger." She revealed herself as the nine-tailed evil fox, emphasizing her vengeful nature and warning Theo against deceiving her. Despite this, she promised to reward him once he freed her but cautioned that deceiving her would lead to dire consequences. Theo acknowledged her warning. The woman then agreed to disclose the location as promised. Theo reflected on encountering a real fiend, acknowledging the fortunate circumstance of the nine-tailed evil fox being confined, preventing any harm to him. He realized the need to remain vigilant against fiends in the future, especially in a place as treacherous as the Forest of Beasts. The chief of the village conducted a ritual, calling upon the dragon god to express gratitude on behalf of the humble residents from the Riverside village. The chief emphasized the community's appreciation for the dragon god's continuous protection, noting that their expressions of gratitude felt insufficient. In reverence to the dragon god's grace, they presented 3 innocent virgins willing to serve the deity. The chief requested the dragon god's continued care and protection for the people of the Riverside village in the future. The chief instructed Violet not to depart from the altar until the dragon god descended, emphasizing the importance of her compliance. He assigned Violet the responsibility of overseeing the other girls, to which she agreed. The chief warned Violet about the consequences of making an error that could offend the spirit of the dragon god, cautioning that the village would face the deity's wrath. Theo, watching from a distance, expressed disapproval of the sacrificial practice involving living individuals. He speculated that the deity they were sacrificing to must be an ancient dragon, leading him to believe he was in the correct location. Theo contemplated the existence of dragon gods, questioning if the deity worshipped by the village was actually an ancient dragon. Considering the sacrificial offerings, he speculated that this location might be where the dragon would manifest. Theo then activated his concealment spell, determined to gather more information about the situation. Theo swiftly leapt to the altar and approached Violet, surprising her. Violet, taken aback, was puzzled by Theo's presence, considering him different from what she had anticipated. She noticed his gentle demeanor and began to question if he was truly the dragon god. In response to her inquiry, Theo clarified that he was not the dragon god they worshipped. Violet, astonished, questioned Theo's statement that he was not the dragon god. Theo explained that he was simply an alchemist who happened to be passing through. He admitted that he had brought her to the altar without prior consent to inquire about something. Violet pointed out Theo's lack of etiquette, highlighting his rudeness in the situation. Theo explained his reason for bringing Violet away from the altar, expressing his need to confirm certain details after observing the surroundings. He assured her of a safe return once their conversation concluded and requested her cooperation in answering his questions. Violet, upon reflection, recognized Theo's advanced knowledge, noting his expertise in alchemy and the skill displayed in transporting her far away from the altar. Acknowledging his capabilities, she decided not to be impolite towards him. Violet inquired about Theo's curiosity, prompting him to question if the dragon god worshipped by her people was an ancient dragon. Violet asked for clarification on what an ancient dragon was. Theo described an ancient dragon as a fiend resembling a dragon with a snake-like scaled body, 2 horns, a red chest, a blue back, and a white pattern on its neck, making it easily recognizable. Violet admitted to never having seen the dragon god in person and expressed uncertainty about its true nature. Theo pondered the situation, noting that not only was Violet being offered to a dragon god she had never encountered, but she was also going to be sacrificed while alive. Violet explained that the chief had encountered the dragon god previously and credited the deity with protecting the Riverside village and warding off enemies. Due to this perceived protection, the villagers felt obligated to do anything to keep the dragon god content. Theo expressed his concern about the practice of sacrificing one's own people. Violet, however, justified the sacrifices as a means to save the majority by sacrificing a few, viewing it as the destiny of the weak. Theo then returned Violet to the altar, reflecting on the valuable information she had provided. He realized that a living sacrifice had been taken 5 years ago to safeguard the village, indicating that an ancient dragon was still active in the area. Theo contemplated the possibility that the location he was in might be where an ancient dragon was slain, as mentioned by the masters. He acknowledged the need to verify the information firsthand and recognized the importance of strengthening himself before taking any further action. Reflecting on the woman's warning that he needed to become stronger to achieve his goals, Theo decided to focus on building up his power before proceeding. Theo engaged in his training, reflecting on reaching the 11th stage of heavenly birth and sensing the gates of spirit energy opening. He described the sensation as akin to rain pouring through the gates of heaven, a powerful and immense feeling. As he focused on the gates of spirit energy, he realized the necessity of using not only his spirit energy but also his character, pondering the true significance. Suddenly, he sensed someone approaching. The woman at the altar knelt and greeted the supposed dragon god, who expressed satisfaction with the situation. The dragon god then inquired about Theo, referring to him as an alchemist. Startled by the dragon god's awareness of his concealment spell from a distance, Theo realized the danger of the situation. He acknowledged the dragon god's strength, feeling overwhelmed and considering the deity to be far superior to him. Theo, in a moment of quick thinking, attempted to escape, but the dragon god intercepted him, questioning his decision to run away instead of facing the situation. Theo swiftly grabbed his pouch, retrieved the orchid, and threw it towards the dragon god. The dragon god, taken aback by the orchid's foul smell, reacted in discomfort and anger. Despite the dragon god's aggression, he challenged Theo to come and face him. The dragon god transformed into a dragon and unleashed a powerful lightning breath towards Theo, who was defended by the boar. Despite the boar's protection, the dragon god's attack caused Theo to fall. The dragon god noted that the unpleasant smell had dissipated, then levitated the bottle from Theo's pouch, expressing intrigue at the contents. Impressed by Theo's actions, the dragon god found him to be an interesting individual. The dragon god chuckled, acknowledging the surprising witchcraft displayed by Theo. A man responded in disbelief, marveling at the fact that Theo managed to fill a small bottle with the fragrance of the shadow orchid. He questioned the sudden introduction of a human, Theo, but understood that there were reasons behind the decision. Theo, regaining consciousness, expressed confusion about his whereabouts and realization of losing consciousness. The dragon god remarked on Theo waking up, acknowledging that, for a human, he had created something quite entertaining. Theo modestly downplayed his abilities, referring to his actions as just a trivial skill. The dragon god reassured Theo not to be nervous, finding his actions interesting and indicating his decision not to harm him as proof. Theo, in response, offered to share the method of extracting the fragrance if that was the dragon god's interest. Impressed, the dragon god acknowledged Theo's intelligence and inquired if he could also handle poisonous herbs, suggesting there might be more skills Theo possessed. Theo confidently stated that he could create healing pills from sacred herbs and poison from poisonous herbs. The dragon god, impressed by Theo's claims, offered him a task to showcase his skills. However, the dragon god warned that if Theo's abilities turned out to be mere boasting, he would be killed instantly. Theo acknowledged the terms set by the dragon god. The man expressed curiosity to his brother, Gio, about why he was assigning the critical task of creating poison to a human. Gio explained that it wasn't just any poison but specifically the lesser devil poison that he entrusted to Theo. The man was surprised by the mention of the lesser devil poison. Gio clarified that while he could make it himself, he had a more vital task of creating a significant Dan pill to prioritize. Gio explained that the Dan pill was crafted using his late uncle, Elder Harold's Niden. The man, surprised, speculated if Gio had an involvement in his uncle's passing. Gio dismissed the idea, stating that his uncle had passed away 50 years ago, emphasizing that he had no motive to harm him and acknowledging the vast difference in their skills. The man, taken aback, inquired about who was responsible for his uncle's death 50 years ago. Gio suggested that perhaps someone like Jack was spreading rumors about him killing his uncle to claim the inheritance. In his pursuit of the truth, Gio found himself taking over his uncle's residence. He questioned the logic behind such accusations. The man sympathized, acknowledging that the situation must have been distressing for Gio. Theo contemplated the revelation about an ancient dragon that died 50 years ago, linking it to the cave mentioned by the first master. He pieced together the information, realizing that at that location, a mysterious alchemist had slain an ancient dragon 50 years ago. Gio smirked as he revealed that he and the troublesome Jack decided to wager his uncle's inheritance in a life-or-death battle. The man reacted in astonishment at the gravity of the situation. Gio admitted that this was precisely why he sought the man's help. Perplexed, the man questioned how he could be of assistance in such a dire circumstance. Gio explained that the sacred herbs required for the Dan pill, made with his uncle's Niden, needed to be at least 300 years old. He requested the Bido plant possessed by the man to compensate for the missing age. The man hesitated, cautioning that using the Bido plant to make up for the age gap would deplete its life force, leading to its demise. He expressed reluctance since he had just acquired the plant and cherished it dearly. Gio disclosed that by consuming the Dan pill made with his uncle's Niden, he would secure victory in the impending battle. He promised the man Jack's Niden if he emerged triumphant. The man reacted with surprise and excitement, expressing gratitude for the generous offer. He acknowledged the immense value of Jack's Niden as a significant treasure and pledged his full support to Gio in exchange for the promised reward. Theo strategized that the upcoming fight between Gio and Jack presented an opportunity for him. He resolved to survive until then, no matter the circumstances. Gio approached Theo, handing him a pill and instructing him to swallow it. It was revealed to be a prohibition pill, with dire consequences if the antidote was not provided within half a month. The pill would cause itching in 3 days, hair loss in a week, muscle melting in 10 days, and ultimately organ failure leading to death in half a month. Gio warned Theo against any foolish actions like attempting to escape. Gio presented Theo with a manual detailing the process of creating the lesser devil poison, urging him to study it thoroughly and give his best effort. He then instructed Sue to escort Theo to the medicine room and supervise him closely. Sue, in turn, prompted Theo to get up quickly so they could proceed with the task as ordered. Theo realized that the symptoms described matched the characteristics of the treacherous fifth poison. Determined to outsmart Gio, he planned to gather ingredients and create the antidote while working on crafting the lesser devil poison. This strategy aimed to catch Gio off guard and potentially turn the situation in his favor. Theo inquired of Sue if she was from the Riverside village and how long it had been since she arrived at their current location. Sue dismissed the conversation, reminding Theo of his impending death. Feeling resigned, Theo questioned whether following all the instructions would lead to his release, to which he implied that Gio would not let him go regardless. Understanding the situation, Theo accepted the reality of his predicament. Sue informed Theo that they had arrived at the medicine room. Theo expressed surprise at the grandeur of the room. In his thoughts, he realized the potential of the well-equipped space to create the lesser devil poison, craft the antidote, and produce Dan pills. Sue informed Theo that she would closely monitor his every move from that moment forward. She emphasized the importance of not acting foolishly, as per her master's instructions. Theo acknowledged her warning and assured her that he would heed the advice given to him. According to the documents, creating the lesser devil poison would take around 2 months, and it had been a month and a half already. Anticipating Gio's imminent inspection, Theo prepared himself. Sue then informed Theo that the master was seeking him. Gio inquired about the progress of the lesser devil poison, to which Theo responded that it had been completed the previous night. Gio questioned Theo's claim, as creating the poison typically required over 2 months even with careful adherence to instructions. Gio expressed skepticism, wondering if Theo was speaking the truth or merely spouting nonsense. Sue retrieved a pill from the pouch as Theo confidently asserted his skill in creating poison and Dan pills. He expressed gratitude on the documents for successfully executing the new method. Gio, still skeptical, decided to test Theo's abilities by checking if he had indeed created the lesser devil poison correctly, to confirm the authenticity of Theo's work. Suddenly, Gio swung the pill in Theo's direction.